Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of DripMyWhip, and this is an episode I've been waiting for a very long time. As you saw from the thumbnail, this thing is finally going to get some lesser ground clearance, which it's about damn time. I've had the car for almost 8 years now. We're in our 7th year, and we are still on the stock Nismo suspension for this car. And I say Nismo because this is a track edition. It's a 2003 track edition. If you're just tuning in and have no idea what this car is, came with Brembo brakes and a stiffer suspension and a limited slip differential. Now we've just about removed everything from being a track edition. It already has a welded differential. We're gonna keep the Brembos, of course. And now today we are taking off the stock suspension and putting on some coilovers. And see, I've always been able to tolerate the car with its current ride height. It hasn't ever really been that bad to me. And I get, for a stance boy, this is awful. Like, this would never pass anybody at a car show. Like, what the hell is that? But then again, this car has always been a work in progress. You know, people say, why don't you get coils, bro? Well, I'm working on it. And today we got them. But yeah, check out the ground clearance. So we've got, I would say, about an inch or two of space in all fender wells. But she still looks good. I've always liked the look of this car, and now it's gonna look even better slammed. I am gonna see what it looks like slammed all the way down, but we're probably gonna pick it up a little bit because this is a drift car. It is not a show car. I'm gonna put it at a height I think I'd like it, and we'll test it out. We might have to roll the fenders, but you know, we'll cross that bridge when we get there today. Check it out. Here are our coilovers, and I'm really excited to put these on. These came from the Part Out G35 in this video, and these are Rev 9 coilovers, and you know, they're already preset to what the G35 that it came off of was running. And I saw the ride height, I kind of liked it, so we're going to leave them exactly how they're set, and I'll still explain how that works, but we're going to leave them how they're set right now for when we put them in the car, since we know they're all even. And also, when you get lower on a car, so obviously the fender is going to come down towards the tire. Now most of the time it'll come down and kind of come over the tire, but we will be might run into an issue with this lip right here. So this lip might need to be rolled. And if you don't know how to roll fenders or don't know what rolling fenders are, I'm going to put that in this clip too, because most likely this is going to get pushed and rolled. That way we can get it down lower without it rubbing. I already did some precautionary stuff, and these already, I guess they come rolled in the front, but I already took the fender liner out of the front bumper, so that way we got better turning ratio. Oh my god, I've been talking this whole time. I didn't even tell y'all, I did swap the engine off camera between videos from the one you just previously saw where I pulled the motor out of the G35 to put it in this car. It is in this car now, check it out. So I did get it in the car. We swapped it over last week, and like I said, I didn't film it just because I've done this swap 2 or 3 times on this channel already, this exact motor. You know, if we were putting the 2J in, I would have filmed it, but straightforward swap. I mean, everything just sits right down in just like usual. This is engine number 7 to this car. This is the 7th engine that has been sitting in this engine bay. We'll see how long this one lasts. It does sound really good when it runs. Take a listen. Literally, this thing sounds so good. I went ahead and put the car in a garage, and check out the coilovers I got. So these are Rev 9 coilovers, as you can see. So these are about a year old from what I understand. They're already, like I said, they're preset. They're already at a good ride height. I saw that car with this ride height. I kind of liked it, so we'll just see how it does on the Z itself. First thing we got to do is we got to get this car up in the air and take all of the wheels off. Now the car is in the air, we've got the wheel off the car. Got some lighting set up behind me. We can clearly see what we've got going on in here. So we've got a spring here in the back, and then we also have the strut here. Both of those are getting changed. Now if you take a look at our new coilover, they are actually together, the spring and the strut together. This is what's called a true coilover. 350Zs and G35s had bucket springs for their stock suspension. Now even though they make kits where you can put a fresh spring back in here, it's actually better if you're going with performance to go with a true coilover, since it's all designed to work together. So in this part of the video, when we take everything out, we're actually going to be not putting anything back right here, because the spring is going to be right here holding everything up. And there's a couple different reasons why people will go with a coilover suspension setup versus their stock suspension. For me, it's for performance reasons. So your stock suspension can only be at one setting. It's a stock suspension. It's at one setting, it's how the car was designed, and that's it. For me, if I'm going to be drifting this car, I want to be going up and down and being able to adjust where I set the car. I can set the car lower, I can set the car higher. You can do that with air suspension as well. But even though that's the easier way to do it, it's more expensive, and most of the time it's more for show reasons. A coilover suspension such as this is more rigid, it's all built very strong, and it should be able to give us the adjustment that we need. All we got for the strut is what appears to be, it's either 17 or a 19, I can't remember. We're gonna take that off, and then up top, we've got the 2 bolts up top. We got one right there, and then one right there in the back. Those are 12 millimeters. That's all it takes to get this strut out. Now, once we get the strut out, that should unlock this to get pushed down further, so we can actually take the spring out. So, let's get started. All right, we got it out. Holy crap, just that comparison. Look at the difference in the height. This thing is gonna be slammed. We might have to raise it up for our application, I'm not sure yet. Also, now that I took the spring all the way out, it's never really a good idea to try to mess with the springs without having some type of backup. So I put the jack underneath the spring so it doesn't spring back at us. Now we're gonna let the jack down and hopefully this will separate. Can you move that back for me, please? Thank you. Camila's helping me today. Say hi, Lala.
Hi.
She's my little helper today. So that should have freed the spring for the most part. Okay, yeah, it's definitely not a one-handed thing. There we go, we got the spring out. Check it out. So now that we got the spring out, we can put the bucket back. Are you looking at me?
Yeah.
I don't think you're looking at me. There you go. Thank you, Camila, for helping. I'll take the camera back, please. Okay, so now all I had to do was really get my foot on it real hard. I just pushed down hard with my foot and it actually freed the spring. I was able to pull it right out. We do need to put this bolt back, and there's no longer a need for a spring there since the spring is now going to be located here. Honestly, the best way to get this back up on the mount itself is not to try to push this up with your foot or anything. It just doesn't work. So best way is grab a jack, put it up under here, and let's jack this thing up until we get it in the right spot. Got it. Perfect. Let's put the bolts in it. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we have one side of our coilover suspension complete. Well, 1/4 of our coilover suspension complete. As you can see, we removed the bucket, put the bolt back in since we no longer need it. We've already bolted up our new coilover, our new to me coilover. And I can already tell just by where this hub is sitting, it's lower. Look how low it is. It's already raised it up a good bit, so now we're gonna go do that side. Okay, before I started on this side, I was taking a look at it. So this is stock suspension, how it sits. When you raise the car up, the wheel drops down, the suspension kind of just holds it. Look at what it looks like with the coilovers. There is nothing holding that wheel up. Look at that. Oh my God, we are gonna be slammed. Look at the difference. Holy crap. I probably have to raise it up. Holy shit, that looks crazy. I'm excited, let's keep going. Now we have moved on to the front, and inside here you have a conventional spring and shock setup. Now this is slightly more complicated than the rear to get done just because there's a couple of things attached to it. So instead of having the bolts up here, they're actually over here in the engine bay. We're gonna have to take the strut bar off. So once we get the strut bar off, you can see we got 2 of them right there. There's 3 bolts, there's 1 under that. So there's only a couple of things attached to it. We've got that right there, which slides right off, that attached again, and then a mount for the brake line to hold it steady. So we gotta pop those out real quick. And then at the bottom, there is just that bolt, and that is all you need to take the strut off. Okay, it just fell down. We got it out. Now the only reason this one I had a little bit of trouble with, as you can see, I actually had to cut. Let me get a little light. I actually had to cut the bottom of the shock with a Sawzall. The other side is right here. I actually had to cut that off because what I was mentioning earlier with this top piece right here, you're supposed to be able to pull that off, and then this whole part swings forward. But mine is not coming off, not without ruining it. So I just felt, well, we don't need this anyway, so let's cut this in half, make it easier. And now it's time to put the new one in there. So we're already a couple of inches shorter, which is awesome, because that's where I had to cut. So we are in perfect length. I had to go ahead and put this in, and let's put it in. So the coilover in the front is officially installed all the way. Looks fantastic. And we are ready to put the wheel on. Oh my God, guys. Look at how low these tires are inside the fender wells. Look at that. You've got the bottom of the tire and the bottom of the body damn near aligned with it, that means this thing is going to be so low. I am super excited. We still got to do the other side. No, I'm not going to film the same thing twice. I'm going to go ahead and let this car down and take care of the other side, and then I'm going to open the garage and show y'all the final product. Jesus Christ, this car is low. It barely got out of the garage and it looks fantastic. I love the slam look. Probably still gonna have to pick it up a little bit. Definitely need to roll the fenders, but let's just enjoy it for now because it is absolutely beautiful. Such a good job. And of course it's starting to rain too. But damn, this thing, it went down about 3 inches. I mean, we are pretty much touching the floor everywhere, but it looks insane. Check that out. Oh my God. I love it. This one's fender is actually touching the tire and we can barely turn, so we're definitely gonna have to do some work up here. So in general, do I think the coilovers were worth it? Yeah, I do. It looks fantastic and it's starting to rain and it's sunny out, which makes no sense. But I am gonna end the vlog here because I got some adjustments to do on it, rolling fenders, which we'll do all that on the next video. And until then, I will see y'all on the next episode of DripMyWhip. Peace.